Animeshovelpodcast, recorded on February 20th, 2012. Hello everybody, welcome to Animeshovelpodcast, the show about the hot, trending anime today, brought to you by fiery, passionate anime fans. My name is Alex K, head host, editor, and stuff of Animeshovelpodcast. Today we have some awesome guests to speak about anime, or in Japanese, anime no koto o shaberu. Today we're going to be discussing two main topics. The first one is going to be the new Black Rock Shooter TV series that just started airing not too long ago. And the second one is going to be the ever so popular Mahou Shoujo Madoka Magica series. Just a warning in advance, we are going to go in depth into discussing about Madoka Magica. So if you haven't watched it, there is going to be spoilers in this episode. If you're fine with that, please proceed and listen. However, if you do not want to be spoiled, then I suggest you get out of here, go watch the series, come back, and listen to this podcast. But anyways, let's get started. Alright guys, how's it going?
Yo, what's up?
Alright, so we got a pretty good amount of people here to discuss some awesome anime as well. We'll just do a little introduction of ourselves. Me, again, I'm Alex. I'm from Japan, well, I'm living in Japan right now. My Twitter handle is Kazella, or AlexK backwards. And my favorite anime at the moment. Oh shoot, I should have thought of it. Where's my list? I'm so unprepared. I gotta say Nisemonogatari is my favorite right now.
John.
Okay, so let's see. My name is John. My Twitter name is Krimotaku, and pretty much I like watching slice of life anime, and that involves decent drama, like Planet, All Fate Zero. I like all that, science fiction, mystery kind of stuff. And my favorite anime at the moment would be Haganai. Yeah. What's the full title? Yeah.
Boku wa tomodachi ga sukunai.
Yeah, that's the one.
I don't have very many friends.
Wait, hold on. I'll just change to another anime. That means, let's see. If I were to say another favorite anime, it would be Natsume Yujincho.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay.
All right. My name's Patrick. I'm from Australia. My Twitter handle's Washi. My favourite anime at the moment, I'm probably going to go with Alex and say Nisemonogatari, because it's, as we said before, fucking awesome. And in general, though, I like moe and lolly sort of anime, but I also like sakuga, as in animation, and looking at the staff and that behind anime, so the production side of things.
Right on.
Well, I guess it's me then.
Yep, it's you.
I'm Cerberus. My Twitter handle is @CerberusTenchi, as in the three-headed dog and then the Japanese word for angel.
Yeah.
Don't really have a favorite genre of anime, but I kind of watch everything. The current favorite still is K-On! I have to admit, even though it's already 2 years old right now. But the movie just came out recently last year. So.
Actually, can I just interrupt and ask who's seen the movie?
I have.
I have.
I haven't.
Not. I have not, because not a K-On! fan.
If you like K-On!, you'll love the movie. And I didn't like K-On!, and I even loved the movie, so...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That says something.
Wow.
It
just
was
converted
really
me
well.
completely.
I started playing bass guitar because of K-On!, so...
Oh,
Cool.
God.
By any chance, did you name your guitar something?
I named her Beth.
Of course. You hardcore fan.
Hardcore.
I really bought Fender Jazz Bass left-handed.
Wow.
So I guess you didn't have the eyebrows to play the keyboard then.
No, I didn't. I also don't have the money to have like 3 summer houses, and so.
Alrighty.
All right.
Next one.
And, I'm Timelizzle. My Twitter handle is Timelizzle_V, because someone took my name.
I hate that.
So I had to add an _V so I can have my name.
It's better anyways. Don't worry.
Yeah. I'm originally from Canada, and I'm living in Japan right now, Kobe, Japan, teaching English. My favorite anime of all time has to be Gurren Lagann. That is awesome.
Awesome.
Gurren Lagann.
Cool.
Yes.
We should talk about that.
Yeah, for sure. It's like my favorite anime.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
And then, I have to agree. My favorite anime this season is Nisemonogatari. So, as you said, it's just full of win and full of awesomeness.
Yes, it is. We might talk about it some other time.
Yeah,
but
sounds good.
I guess we can go on to our meaty portion of the podcast, which is talking about two animes. We're going to talk about Black Rock Shooter, the TV, not the OVA, the new one, and Haganai, or Boku wa Tomodachi ga Sukunai, that ridiculously long name, which means I have very little friends.
Yep, and maybe some Madoka, I guess.
Yeah, whatever we can toss in, we shall do that.
Cool.
Alright, so let's start. Black Rock Shooter TV.
Rock Shooter. So can I just ask, does anyone else follow staff and directors and that sort of thing behind anime, or?
A little bit. Like I like stuff with a lot of story, like Chaos Head or Steins Gate, or like Clannad and Angel Beats. Like I'll follow those kind of.
Angel Beats was awesome.
Yeah.
So not so much directors and the visual side of things, but more the story, right?
Yeah. Director, not so much.
Sure. So you're not familiar with Hiroyuki Imaishi, the Gainax director?
No, not really.
Okay,
sure.
This links in with Black Rock Shooter, but he was the director of Panty and Stocking and Gurren Lagann.
Okay, alright.
He was like Gainax's star director, and he does all that awesome style stuff that you might notice in any of Gainax's previous work. But anyway, he recently left Studio Gainax with a couple of other members. I think Yoshinari Yor is another one of their really good animators. They all left and started a new studio, all for themselves, called Studio Trigger. Anyway, that studio, and also Hiroyuki Imaishi himself, is actually working on Black Rock Shooter now, in partnership with Studio Audit, which is actually like, do you guys remember the director who got fired from Lucky Star?
I think so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yamamoto Yutaka. He got fired in episode 6 because it was his first like directional thing, and Kyoto Animation decided he wasn't like doing a good enough job, basically. So they kicked him out, and he left and started his own studio with a bunch of other disgruntled Kyoto Animation staff. So it's those two studios doing this, and it's a pretty awesome combination, really.
Wow.
Hiroyuki Imaishi is handling all the direction of the CG battle scenes. So that basically explains why the CG battle scenes are freaking epic.
The more you know.
I'm not sure if you all agree, but I love them.
Yeah, now that you mention it, like, Black Rock Shooter TV really has the same vibe as Gurren Lagann and the other ones he's produced. So now that you mention it, yeah, I feel it.
Yeah, so he actually they just said, here, you direct all of these alternate world scenes. So he's in charge of the animation direction and the guiding the CG and the camera angles and that sort of stuff of those scenes, which is why the mecha, or sorry, not the mecha, but the CG battles sort of a bit more unusual than you might expect from Black Rock Shooter, or from basically any CG battles that you might normally see.
But I noticed that everything in the other world is mostly CG. That's right.
Yeah,
isn't it?
Even the characters.
Even the characters. Yeah, I was surprised by that. It's really well done.
It is. Yeah, they do an impressive job because sometimes you can't even really notice until they get close. Yeah. So yeah, it's really impressive modeling and direction to make that happen. Like for example, they cut the frame rate of the CG models quite heavily, so you don't really notice that they're not actual 2D animation, because obviously animation has a pretty jittery frame rate compared to CG, which there's no limitation on how smooth you can make it. So they actually have to limit the frame rate of it to make it blend in with the 2D animation.
Right, they're making it close enough so that it sort of deceives you into thinking it's still 2D.
Yeah, because if they actually leave it at frame rate, it feels really unnatural. And they first started using that with Gitsack. You guys know that?
Which one?
As in Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex.
Oh yeah.
The Tachikoma were all cel-shaded CG. But that's sort of one of the shows where a mainstream show where they decided to use that limiting the frame rate, and it was really good in that, so it's sort of been standard now.
Yeah, it works.
Nice.
Another thing we wanted to talk about was the comparison between the new one and the OVA.
Yeah. Well, I think the new one's more melodramatic, I guess.
Well, for sure. I was really excited when the OVA came out, I think last year. Was it last year? Yeah. But yeah, everything about Black Rock Shooter was hyped. All these magazines and figures, it all came out at roughly the same time. So it really hyped it up, and everyone was excited for it last year. But when it actually came out, it was so bad.
It wasn't, really? I wouldn't say it was so bad. But
it wasn't so bad, but a lot of people... Yeah, it did not
I get the
hype, for sure.
Expectations were too high, but
Yeah, you can take
Yeah, I
Kenohki
guess.
Homes, for example. That was also massively advertised, and then the anime was like, yeah, okay, alright. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like
Oh, yeah,
decent
Vicky
at
Holmes.
best. It totally didn't live up to expectations. I
Yeah,
think
it
the
was a
only
bit
thing I
dry.
liked about it was the soundtrack.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for me it was a soundtrack. But other than that, yeah, nothing too special about it, and kind of just brushed it off.
The OVA,
It had some-
like,
Yeah.
what was I gonna say? The OVA, the core of it was like kind of meh. Like, it wasn't really deep or anything, but like production itself, it
Yeah.
was really beautiful. It was really well
Yeah.
done. It sort of left you hanging and kind of, but
Yeah. Like the
Well,
visuals,
after
the
all,
design,
it
the
is the
design
season.
work,
Yeah.
and the actual 2D animation was pretty good quality.
Mm-hmm.
So it was pretty well produced and pretty polished, but it kind of lacked a bit of impact, a bit of oomph.
right.
So it sort of like fell a bit flat, I guess.
Yeah.
At least that's my impression. Yeah.
Except the scenes in the beginning and the end where
Yeah.
Voltsaw actually comes out and you're like, what the heck happens? That was
Yeah.
pretty awesome, but
It's actually the movie cut in half and then scrambled together.
yep.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like, the end is actually the middle of the movie.
All right, so some of us haven't seen the new Black Rock Shooter. The synopsis is pretty much the same as the OVA, right? Like the same characters come out, and new characters come out also. But like Mato and Yomi's relationship is like pretty much the same.
Yeah. Except even more Yuri.
Yes. Gotta put it that way. And I guess on the same line of production quality, I guess a lot of people have been complaining how the art's just not as polished as the OVA, which is sort of, you have to say okay because it's a TV series.
Yeah,
it's a
exactly.
TV
And then
series,
you
don't
have to
the
you have to
budget.
compromise.
Yeah, of course.
Like if it's an OVA,
actually-
eps,
yeah.
then for sure the animation quality is going to be like excellent. But come on, what is it? Is it like a 12-episode anime or?
Yeah.
Something like
It's
that.
8 episodes.
Yeah.
But actually, I don't think the animation quality is particularly worse than the OVA. It's basically what you'd expect. Like, there's nothing wrong with it, is
Right.
what I'm trying to say. So I don't really see where those complaints are coming from. I think it's just people who don't like the slightly different character designs, I guess. But that doesn't really speak for the actual animation quality or the production values. It's just
yeah,
a
that's
personal
true.
taste. Yeah.
One thing I
It-
thought
it's-
about
Yeah, it's okay.
Black Rock Shooter, the old one and the new one, is like we have to compare the new one to the old one because there is an old one.
Yeah.
Like when I first learned about the Black Rock Shooter OVA, Black Rock Shooter was still the song and the idea in my head.
Yeah.
There was no Mato or Yomi there. So
Yeah.
we were fed the idea that there's these schoolgirls and they have
Yeah.
these alternate identities as Black Rock Shooter, well, not even identities, but alter ego or whatever. And that kind of struck us. But now that we're used to that, like the conversion from the old one to the new one didn't feel as hard. Like
Yeah.
we just accepted it because we knew from before.
That's true, yeah.
I guess.
But I was never opposed to the idea anyway. I actually like having them as real life characters and then switching to the other world. I think that actually gives it a bit more personality and a bit more humanity to it. If it was all set in that grim, universe,
just
just wouldn't
imagine.
really be compelling. Yeah.
Just that silent, dark.
Yeah, exactly. Just walking around
Yeah,
shooting
then
It's
it'd
stuff.
kinda
then it'd be
badass on
like
its own,
Madoka,
but-
then like Madoka all over again.
Yeah, well, it's badass for a music video, but it's not really a good story, if you know what I mean.
It's like the same thing with something like The Matrix. You have to have like the story in both worlds,
Yeah.
not just one.
Yeah,
It is sort of like that.
definitely.
Yeah, so what I can say about Barrack Shooter, the new series, right, is like, okay, think of it as Clannad, where you have all your slice of life, and then you add a bit of Mahou Shoujo transformation, except that they don't transform. That's what you get. You get an awesome slice of life storyline, and then you have a badass, Mahou Shoujo fight scenes and all that. And to me, that's what Barrack Shooter is. And yeah.
Yeah, technically,
That's
that's
like,
what it is.
yeah, that's like a very good and elegant way to say it. It's slice of life plus Mahou Shoujo and some crazy stuff in between.
Mm.
Yep.
Yeah.
Although it's kind of dark and gritty to call it Mahou Shoujo.
Yeah, it's not really Mahou Shoujo,
It's
is
like,
it? But-
It's like
It's sort of-
Madoka,
and it's not-
Madoka Mahou Shoujo.
Yeah.
yeah. But I actually love the melodrama in it. I didn't expect it to be that dark and, almost disturbing in some ways.
Yeah, I enjoy that too.
Yeah, I didn't even from the first episode, I thought, oh, look, she's obviously got a sad life, but not that fucked up.
Yeah.
Yes, went beyond expectations.
Like, the first episode kind of felt rushed to me, but I guess that's because also I'm comparing it to the old one. But it's also like a sort of synopsis of the last one too, so it's trying to get people into Black Rock Shooter. Like, I don't know. It's for some people it's the first episode, so.
But see, the thing is, it wouldn't make sense for them to drag it out.
Right.
It's kind of the same thing when you compare the old Full Metal Alchemist anime series to the new one. Like, they have to rush through, like, the first half of, like, the story.
Yeah,
or
they super rushed that.
Yeah. Like, I can't argue that they should have done it a different way, but for a lot of people who have watched the anime, like, you're just seeing the same thing, like, redone in, like, better graphics or whatever.
Yep.
So I kind of have to agree that if they had to rush the series, it's mainly because they think that a lot of people have watched the OVA before, and they want them to just continue the story and get to the juicy parts.
I actually dropped Brotherhood at around episode, like, 10 or 9, because I was so sick of how fast-paced and, like, basically they were crapping all over the original anime's content of that part of the story, and everyone was saying, but it follows the manga story, which is so much better, and, like, I didn't believe them because I haven't read the manga, so I was like, I actually quite like the first series, so, whatever, but I finally ended up continuing, and then I was like, holy shit, this is amazing.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
when I actually got down to watching the rest of it. Yeah. Yeah,
exactly. Like, I watched all of the first the first anime, like, long ago. Yep. And then, like, I never got into the manga, and then when the new season came out, like, I watched it a bit, and then I thought, like, wow, I'm gonna have to wait, like, maybe 10, 20 episodes till they catch up. So then I didn't watch it. I waited until all, 50-something episodes came out, and I just marathoned that, and I was like, holy crap, so much better.
I think I finished it in, like, half a week, maybe. Thanks, Sean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I finished it in, like, I think, like, 2 or 3 days, because it was just that damn good.
Dang.
Like, like, I was on my Christmas break, and I just, like, marathoned the whole thing in, like, 3 days.
So,
it was just that damn good.
That's like Bones at its finest, really.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. They did a great job.
Anyone that I run into that's seen the first one and is, like, wondering if they should see the second, always tell them, like, bear with it until Greed comes out.
Or if they've seen the first one, if they've seen the first one, they can just skip, like, 12 episodes.
Yeah, technically you can. Like, if I had it my way, I would take, like, the first half of the original one, the first anime, and then pilot with the second one. And that would be the perfect Fullmetal Alchemist, except a couple scenes that they forgot from the anime, which I was pretty shocked.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Could be, yeah.
So should we move on to Madoka, maybe?
Anything else for Black Rock Shooter that you guys want to talk about?
Not really, but I'll have to add that now that you talked about it, and I know who the producer and director is, I am going to watch it. Because I love Gurren Lagann, I love Penny Stocking and Garter Belt, and I'm going to watch it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Alright.
Awesome.
And,
I will try to catch up on it somehow. Maybe on Nico Nico. Maybe somewhere else.
Yeah.
But always
or you can wait
legally,
until it all
of
comes
course,
out.
right?
Because it's only about 8 episodes anyways, so.
2 DVDs? 3 DVDs then? I don't know.
Probably. Anyways, we were going to talk about Haganai, but you want to talk about Madoka?
I reckon. Madoka would be cool.
Well, since everyone has watched it,
And in the line of gritty, dark, Mahou Shoujo. Alright.
Yeah. Madoka's basically an awesome story. The mastermind of Gen Urobuchi. Do you guys know the writer, really, or...?
Isn't he like Fate Stay Night or...
No, No. He did Fate Zero, which is... which is why the story of Fate Zero is so much more badass.
He did stuff from Nitro Plus, the game company?
Yep. His most famous one is Sai no Uta. Yeah. Have you guys played that game? It's kind of fucked up.
No, I haven't played it, but I've heard very, very good things about it.
You should definitely play it. The story, like, basically the rule is that every story Gen Urobuchi does is amazing. So, like, you know, when you heard about Madoka and you heard, oh, it's Gen Urobuchi, you're sort of like, yeah, I don't trust this guy. Because actually, in all his interviews, he said, I want to try and do like a really traditional magical girl, heartwarming story. But you're just like, I can't believe this guy. And sure enough, episode 3, everything turns on its head and it becomes this like screwed up story. It's great.
Wow, so some people are expecting that, huh?
Yeah, because he actually, like, there was this whole secrecy about the script, and he talked it up as being a really straightforward magical girl series, so he sort of tried to trick everyone, which is great.
I remember, like, all the advertising being, like, this cutesy little
Yeah,
magical girl, and we're like, oh, it's gonna be really cute, and, you know.
Yeah.
Boom.
But yeah, Gen Urobuchi is known as a master troll.
Well, in this case, we like being...
The story is really fucked up.
Yeah, so basically it was his involvement and also Studio Shaft that made it probably such a memorable anime, which I usually wouldn't say because I kind of hate Studio Shaft sometimes. But they did an awesome job with Madoka, like some of the weird choices. They did like bringing in those, was it Inukari animators who did all the creepy like paper cutout stuff for the magical world?
Yeah.
Really like
Their involvement made it much more interesting and visually like compelling than you might get from a normal series. So it's sort of a standout.
I guess the appeal of Madoka really is those fight scenes with the... It's the picture of real objects.
Yeah.
Then the cell shading above it. It's it fucks your brain up.
Yeah, so that style, it's actually done by a pair of Russian animators called Inukari, and Shaft actually used them on Sayonara Zetsubo Sensei for a few scenes. If you guys have watched that, you might remember some of that stuff that they did. But yeah, that was pretty cool.
I love Shaft's style.
Yeah, but did you know, like, because Shaft's scheduling and animation quality is usually so fucked up, except for Nisimonogatari, where it's been, like, perfect, did you guys know that the script for Madoka was actually done 3 years before it aired, but they couldn't get around to doing it because Shaft was so busy, yeah.
Wow.
I know. So they were just sitting on this, like, goldmine for so long.
For waste.
I know.
Well,
Because, what did Madoka sell? Like 80,000 copies? Yeah.
Yeah, and then also the music as well. Come on, like Kajiura Yuki.
Yeah, Yuki Kajiura,
Calafina. Like, holy crap.
Yeah.
It was great. Basically, we have to thank this one producer from Aniplex who's done a bunch of other really good shows. I think, I can't remember other ones, like Idolmaster and a few other, like, classic shows. I think, Bakemonogatari's one. But he's basically like, right, I want to do a series. I want to have Yuki Kajiura, Shaft, and Gen Urobuchi. And that's why we get Madoka. I was like, brilliant.
Yeah, it was a huge project.
Yeah. There's a good combination of creative minds, I think, on that.
Oh yeah, everything I think was just awesome.
You see, when it comes to Madoka, right, what I think about it, what really attracts me to Madoka is the storyline. Because, you see, when it comes to anime, art is secondary, but storyline is first to me. Because for some viewers, it's like reading a good book. You want to understand the character, you want to feel their pain and all that. And Madoka is unlike other, Mahou Shoujo, magical girl series, where it's all cutesy and happy and joy, spreading love, courage and hope and all that. Madoka actually makes the viewer feel that, oh, my life is like, a teenage girl trying to struggle through life into adulthood, and then you understand her pain, because most of the viewers will be teenage viewers or, younger than that, or maybe older viewers.
Yeah.
And they want to relive that pain. So they look for stories that can really touch them. Madoka is definitely one of these series because, well, some people just seek drama. And they have to feed on it because it's what that keeps them entertained. So I would say Madoka, it's pretty well balanced between action scenes, because I haven't seen any Mahou Shoujo fight scene that's gory, but, fight scenes are always gory, and it has to be gory to be realistic. And this Mahou Shoujo is definitely quite realistic. So for people that doesn't like the cutesy stuff, they can actually end up watching this because they'll just go like, holy crap, it's just awesome, like American TV. They just love it. Then as for the people, let's say, there are always viewers that like to watch Desperate Housewives and all that, or Friends. They want the drama. Yeah, Madoka has that as well. So, so that's pretty much what attracts me to Madoka.
Yeah.
What I really liked about Madoka is all the characters and the development of each character. Like, they all start a little bit different, and like slowly evolve into some different character.
Like Sayaka starts out cute, and she
Yeah.
becomes really annoying.
Yeah.
And then she,
And-
she goes into despair in the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even like Hyoko, at first like we think she's like a heartless bitch, but
Yeah.
she's
Yeah,
not.
Kyoko was awesome. Yeah.
Prime example.
Yeah,
that she was
exactly.
great. Actually, I don't know where, like, what happened with Kyoko, because I started off hating her, and then at some point, and I can't even pick where it happened, I just started really liking it a lot. And I can't even just, like, she didn't do anything that made me change my mind, but yeah, all of a sudden I was, like, sort of understood her better. So I think it was just, like, a really good case of good characterization and writing.
Yeah. Maybe, I don't know, I think it's because of like her backstory,
Yeah, I was gonna
it's
say.
kind of a tragic hero kind of thing. It's
Yeah.
a little bit like that. Her wish was trying to help someone, but in using that wish for like a good purpose, it kind of
It backfired
screwed her
on
over
her.
in the end, yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Well, that's
like,
that's a problem with all of them except for Madoka herself, right? I mean,
Yeah,
Sayaka made a
she's
wish
happy, so-
and it backfired at her.
Yeah.
Mami made a wish and it backfired at her. Kyoko had the same.
Mommy not so
Oh.
much though. Like, wasn't her
Yeah,
wish
no,
just
no.
to stay alive? Or something
Yeah,
like
but
that?
But I mean, it kind of
In
backfired
the
at
anime,
her.
it wasn't
And she
established.
was
because
she was lonely after all that.
Yeah.
Right. She lived,
Yeah.
but she was alone. So when Madoka befriended her, her life kind of makes sense
Yeah.
again, and then she died. I mean, that's the
Yeah,
most
well,
dramatic death. After all, you just made a friend, you're happy, and then you die.
Yeah.
okay, it's pretty much like this. It's pretty much like this. The magical girls in Madoka, right? It's like making a contract with the devil, except that he gives you an expiry date that you have no idea that's when it's going to expire. So it's like, you see, you get the good. You get the good wish. It's like you think it's like, oh, okay, this is going to be an awesome wish, but down the road, you do not know when they're going to die, and
An
when
expiry
it
date,
hits them, it's too late.
Yeah. An expiry date, like an AKB48 member.
That's a bad analogy.
I mean,
But did you guys notice the black cat in the opening? Did that stick out at all for you?
The black cat.
There was in the opening
Oh, yeah.
of this black cat.
Like at
and,
the end, where they're all sitting.
Yeah.
There-
And all the
there too,
forums were like talking about it for so long. Like, what is this black cat? What's the meaning of it? Like, is it going to be introduced in the story? All this other stuff. But there was heaps of theorizing about it because, like, knowing Genorobochi, everything had to mean something. But like, eventually he revealed that like one of the storyboards of the opening just like chucked it in randomly, like with no context. But
Another
it was just
troll.
so much fun seeing all these people trying to make up these stories about the cat and why it was there.
I never thought of it that way.
Yeah. I suppose. But yeah, no, it was funny.
Another thing I really liked was the characters between Sayaka and Kyoko. Like,
Yeah.
how their views of, I guess, justice is different.
Mm.
I like how Sayaka's all trying to be a hero and stuff. And Kyoko is like, meh.
Yeah.
I see what
Yeah.
you're doing, but you're just, covering it up
Naive.
with your nice
Yeah.
words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, we didn't talk about
Hey,
Homura
you
at
can-
all.
Horror
What
is the
the
best.
heck? What's
Because
wrong
yeah.
with you guys?
Yeah, that's because you
Yeah,
guys
she's
saved
my
me for
favorite
last.
character. Yeah, save the best for last.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, for those who have finished and watched Steins Gate, yeah, it's like, kind of the same thing. We have, well, since we all watched Madoka, like, we all know, like, she goes back in time, like, countless times to try and save someone.
Yep.
So that alone, like, that, I can't remember, what was it? Like, was it episode 10 that
Yep.
it finally revealed Homura's backstory?
Right.
That was the best
Yeah,
episode.
That was the best episode. Like at first, I thought the anime's pacing was really bad because it was
Yeah.
really slow to start off with. But then when it finally reached episode 10 and they finally revealed everything, like
Yeah.
what is going on, I was like, holy crap, wow! Like
Did you know
was
they had to like
really interesting.
Genorobochi's script for that episode was actually like there was enough content in there for about 30 more minutes of the episode, and so they had to like cut it back heaps to try and fit it onto a TV episode. Like, how good would it be to see a full version of that on Blu-ray with the
Yeah.
extra 30 minutes of story?
Yeah, like it.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, but I guess because
Yeah.
of time restraints, they had to cut it short, and
Yeah, exactly.
They fit it into like like 12, 13 episodes. If they dragged it on too long, then it wouldn't be any good. Like if they try to make it 24 episodes, then the pacing would be really screwed up. Like even for 12 episodes, I thought the pacing at the beginning was a little too slow for my taste. But, the ending and the 10th episode completely made up for it.
Yeah.
Well, you might be lucky because there's going to be 2 movies.
Yes.
After Madoka, and you might be able to see all that additional or hidden content after all.
That'd be great. Yeah. Are both? I can't remember. I keep forgetting. Is both movies original content or is one a recap? Pretty sure
one is a recap, and the other one I'm not sure. It hasn't been announced.
Sure. I think they said at least one of them is original. I think one of them is, yeah.
Oh well.
It's always I had it when they announced anime movies, and then it's like, oh, but it's just a recap of the series. It's like, fuck.
Yeah.
We'll still watch it though. Right?
Yeah, it's like Evangelion. Oh, it's a recap of the entire
still
series.
will, but it's just not as good. I mean, it's the same thing with Gurren Lagann. Like, come on, the 27 episodes was perfect. Yep. The 2 movies that they made, I watched it, but it wasn't as good as the anime. So
yeah, I haven't seen those.
Too bad.
The first one was like, what? Why did I just watch this?
Was it literally just like 20 episodes crammed into one movie, or
pretty much, yeah?
Or 15 episodes?
No. Remember, there's 2 arcs in Gurren Lagann. The first movie was the first arc. Second movie was the second arc.
Oh yeah.
But then the second movie wasn't as good because there's not as many deaths. Like the reason why the anime was good is because people made sacrifices and they built on top of that. But then in the movie, not as many people died.
So who doesn't die?
It kind of felt shallow. I can't remember who.
I guess.
I can't remember. I would have to look it up. But yeah, trust me, not as many people died.
No,
so it just didn't feel I didn't feel as much as I did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a recap for you.
That's kind of lame. Like, you'd think with the movie they'd try and top themselves, but they've just pulled back like lower than what they did with the series. That's kind of lame.
Yeah. I don't know. Too bad. The normal anime was better, hands down.
Okay. I can't wait for the Madoka movies though. I reckon they'll be great.
I didn't even know there were movies coming out for it.
Seriously?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Yeah, it was announced a while back.
Yeah.
Yeah, only those that have made a contract with QB would know about it.
Make your contract now.
Yeah, and you'll get your 2 Madoka movies.
That reminds me. The contract with QB. I saw a picture some time ago. I don't know when exactly. With QB and Kiro-chan, I think, from Cardcaptor Sakura, the little thingy there.
Yeah, Kiro,
And then the subtext was, what, it took you 13 episodes to get your magical girl? I don't need a one.
Owned.
That's awesome. But at least Kyubey gets a whole bunch. Kero only manages the one.
Yeah, it's not just one Kyubey, so...
Yeah.
and I mean, QB created the goddess after all, right? Kinda.
Yeah, true.
Entropy.
With the help of Homura, nonetheless. Without Homura, Madoka wouldn't be a goddess after all. Because of all the
yeah, that's true. Well,
because of all the times she skipped back in time, Madoka became more and more powerful.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Indeed. Have you guys seen Orinoi Moto Kono ni Kawai Wakiganai?
Yep, I have.
Yeah.
All the OVAs.
Yeah, of course. But I've got a dojinka found in Toranoana, which is Kyubey recruits Kirino to be a magical girl, and she becomes Meruru. And she eventually, turns into a witch, like a grief seed fucks up, over her love with her mother.
LOL.
And Kuroneko has to fight her and take her down. It's pretty funny.
I'm gonna learn.
Oh my god, I want to read that now.
Yeah. I'll try and scan it or photograph it or something.
Speaking of manga, have you guys checked out the different spin-offs of Madoka?
I haven't checked them out, no. There's 3, right?
Nope.
There's 3. One of them is just a manga version of the original, I think.
Yeah.
The other one,
No. Yep.
I've read both of them. 2 of the first one and one of the second one. The first one is actually a spin-off of the actual story, so the old characters actually come back. There's new characters introduced. I really enjoyed that one. It plays on a different timeline than the anime, so that one I recommend. It's called Mahou Shoujo Oriko Madoka Magica.
Okay.
That one's awesome. You should check it out.
Cool.
But the other one, I don't even remember the name. It's maybe because I haven't read all of it, but like it starts out really, it's not as dark. It's really like it's trying to be funny and stuff. So
yeah.
I bought it because it was Madoka, but
I would love to see one with Homura as the main, like the focus of the story rather than Madoka. That'd just be great. Like as in her trying to stop the what's it called, Walpurgis Night, and deal with Madoka in each arc over and over again. It'd be kind of interesting. Actually, very interesting.
That would be like Steins Gate.
Or Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. There's gonna be 2 movies, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So one's a recap and one's like.
I think this is us guessing.
Oh, because
So
the
the
anime
other-
really leaves you hanging with Homura fighting with her new bow and special powers and Madoka in the sky and stuff.
Oh
So-
no, 3 movies. There's 3 movies.
Three
I'm just looking it up
movies?
now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I'm not up to date.
Yeah.
Well,
have a look.
more than better, I guess.
Yeah, much better.
Well,
Let's-
I hope it comes before we all.
Oh shit! So the first 2 films are recap, and the third one's original.
How could
That continues
2 be
where the
recap?
TV anime left.
Is it gonna be?
I don't.
I mean, it's
Well,
12
maybe-
episodes, so
I guess they'll expand upon it. So
that'd be cool
Yeah.
if they added extra stuff.
it would be cool, yeah. And if they do, if they actually put a lot of effort into it and make those magical world scenes really cinematic, that'd be great as
Make
well.
that Homura episode 1 hour.
Yes, make that.
That would be awesome.
That'd be
They could probably make a whole movie out of it, like a
Definitely.
real 2-hour movie of it.
Yeah.
From what I
it
read,
would be kind of like a mixture of Magical Girl meets the Transporter or something.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. You sure it's 3 movies? I kind of assumed that the
It's 3.
third one would be a parody, like a spin-off. Like it's actually Mahou Shoujo Sonico Magica.
New.
Yeah,
No,
because there's
it's
actually a
actually-
link for it. There's actually a link for it.
A while ago, a really while ago, I heard that they were planning to do Madoka as a slice of life or something like that.
Oh,
Take
no,
out
that's-
all.
That was just them trolling.
I see. No, troll
Like,
again.
given who they arranged to do it, it was always intended to be that sort of series. Like, it was never going to be a straightforward magical girl show, but they just tried to pretend that it was going to be, so that they could screw people over, troll them.
Lots of trolling in Madoka.
Yep.
Alright, so, how about we wrap this up? Any last thoughts about Madoka before we end this?
It's
So if
awesome.
you haven't watched it, go fucking watch it.
Yeah.
Even though
Yeah.
we spoiled at the end already, so
So yeah, and just remember, Homura teleports. That's her power.
And of course, you call
Okay.
her badass weapons.
Yep.
and Mami gets her head bitten off. So
Oh.
yeah.
that's-
Okay, okay. Let's see.
Well, it's okay. I'll put a spoiler tag at the beginning.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
if
yeah.
if you're
I mean,
listening to this,
we spoiled it anyway, right? We
Hey guys,
spoiled
I've got
that-
a Charlotte hand puppet with the jaw that bites off on his head. It's awesome.
oh, I want to see
I
this.
mean- I mean-
Show us later.
I actually bought
anyone
that
that
exhibit in Ikebukuro.
anyone that hasn't been living under a rock already knows that Mami loses her head somehow.
Yep.
So
Yeah, how could you miss it? There's too many parodies and stuff, and images floating
Yeah.
around.
But she
But
loses it.
there,
yeah, if
There-
you're
there also
listening to
was
this
this,
for some reason and have not watched it, watch it.
Okay, yeah, let's see, Madoka, it's for any listeners out there that has actually watched Koreva Zombie Deska and has been mentally scarred by a Mahou Shonen, a magical man, watch Madoka. That would cure you. Madoka
Yeah.
kills you.
Calling him a zombie desk guy is really fucked up in its own way.
Yep.
I mean,
Muscle.
seriously, the zombie Mazo Shoujo
Yeah.
that becomes cuter each time he surpasses his body limits. I mean, I'm 1000% cute. Oh.
Oh boy. Well,
Yeah.
if you've been that way, then go check that out, I guess. But if you don't care about Mahou Shoujo, even though you don't care about Mahou Shoujo, you should check out Madoka.
Yeah.
Because
Oh, definitely.
even if it's not your average Mahou Shoujo anime.
Yeah.
In the end.
Oh yeah, because Madoka, it's like it. Don't get fooled by the front cover because it's all magical and frilly and magical girl and shit. But storyline is important because it's really deep. So yeah, I wouldn't want to release any spoilers because some people just prefer it that way. It's one of those good stories that's deep. Yeah,
Indeed.
tragic too.
Tragic,
Yeah.
deep, and
Yeah,
everyone loves
if you like to watching Lassie and then your pet dog dies and then you cry because of that dog, then yeah, watch Madoka. You'll love
it. That is the weirdest advice ever.
Yeah, you're calling Psycho dog.
Yeah,
Because Psycho.
well, I can say Hachiko, but yeah, depends on what listeners are. Yeah.
Anyways, that's about all the time we have for now. So thank you guys for joining us tonight.
All right.
Cool.
Okay.
See you
It's been
fun.
guys next time.
Yeah, thanks for coming. I hope you all had fun. And hopefully everyone enjoys this and we can do this again.
Sounds good.
All right, cool.
Alright, awesome.
Yeah.
See you guys.
All right,
Peace.
Alright guys, thanks for listening and tuning in to the first episode of Animeshovelpodcast. This was really just a test run, so this is going to be considered episode 0. And I want to thank all the guests that we had last night for jumping in and having this awesome anime chat. We had tons of fun, and hopefully we can do this again as episode 1 of official Anime Shovel Podcast. We're getting everything organized right now still, so we're gonna try to build some places where you can find information and contact and social network stuff. But in the meantime, I'm going to be posting this on my Tumblr for this. You can go to animeshovel.tumblr.com for the show notes and the actual MP3 that you're probably listening to right now. If you want to contact us, give us comments or what you thought about the show, you can actually tweet us at Twitter at animeshovel. Or if you want to give us a longer, more than, 140 character message, you can email us at animeshovel@live.com. animeshovel@live.com for all your email, comments, and whatever you want to send us. So thanks for listening once again. This was Anime Shovel Podcast. I'm Alex K, and hope you tune in again next time. See ya.
What if we were entering into a new time? A time when the very systems of control and commerce that we had